Well, with so many things going on with the Gamecocks program right now, from women, the selection show, that's popping off. Tournament's going to be right here at the CLA. Baseball team, SEC opener this past weekend against Kentucky. And yes, football. That's right. Spring practice starts on tomorrow. So all that being said, when it's all Gamecocks, it's all Spurs and Feathers. Joining me right now, my man, as I like to call it, 50 grand. Brian Hand joining me right now. And I'm going to start right now with the baseball team because after they lost to Clemson, it was like all has been lost. No hope. Is this team good enough? I don't know if we're going to make it to the tournament. There were so many things. It's Chad Holbrook, the guy, 10 in a row, and they swept a very good SEC team in Kentucky.
Yeah, they're 17-3 right now, and 3-0.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive. They've won 10 straight. Going back to that, I mean, Chad Holbrook himself said, you know, you don't go to Omaha in late February, early March, and they've shown that. Is that they responded. Clemson, in turn, has gone the other way. They're now 9-9, you know, and that was a big win for them to get out there. But they've gone the other way. South Carolina found a way to regroup, get these 10 straight wins, and they're doing a little bit of everything. Pitching, great defense for the most part, little things here and there. But the one thing that had been lacking was their hitting.
Right.
And this weekend they hit.
Right, and that's the thing. Cal Martin with the walk-off two-run blast to win the Game 3 of the tournament on yesterday. You know, even Mac Trock has been good. Alex Destino. I mean, guys have stepped up and made plays. And it's been the seniors, too, guys. It's been around the program that's stepping up and understanding, you know, it is tough. And they grind. Chad Holbrook said they're getting back to grinding and how South Carolina wins baseball games.
Yeah, and one of the ones that's really stuck out is Elliot Caldwell, somebody that, you know, hadn't really found his place in the lineup and kind of cemented himself because he's going out hitting and, you know, going out there and doing all those things. Had a tremendous series against, you know, hit the game-tying home run in the bottom of the bottom of the night. You know, after all hope was lost when Kentucky had played at 2 and the top of the night, everybody thinks it's over, and Elliot Caldwell just comes out and says no more and hits the home runs, and South Carolina finds a way to get out of a bases-loaded jam in the top of the 10th and still finds a way to win. As you mentioned, that's Gamecock baseball. They've been winning anyways for years. That's kind of been their mantra, with the battling and winning anyways, and this team's a perfect epitome of that.
Well, no doubt about it. Coach Chad Holbrook, you know, we talked about it, growing the beard out because, hey, it's not broke. I'm not going to try to fix it. No shave for Chad there. But one other thing I want to mention, Winthrop comes in on tomorrow. Winthrop beat Clemson, so this is a pretty solid baseball team that's coming on to take on the Gamecocks during the midweek. Yeah,
Winthrop's always had a really good program, and that, you know, that's the biggest thing. When anybody comes into South Carolina, whether it be UConn or whether it be Kentucky for SEC series, or whether it be, you know, Penn State that came in from the, whoever it is, and I'm just listing a bunch of teams' names, but they want to beat South Carolina. Winning at Carolina Stadium can make your year. And, you know, Winthrop's going to give South Carolina everything they have. I mean, go back to 2012, South Carolina made the national finals. They lost to Francis Marion, a D2 team.
I remember that.
But baseball's funny in that way, that all it takes is a great pitcher. You know, and so I think you'll see Winthrop bring that to the ballpark against the Gamecocks. But South Carolina, with the way they're playing, if they hit, they can probably beat anybody in the country.
No doubt about it. Let's switch gears real quick, because tomorrow opens up spring practice for Steve Spurrier and the Gamecocks. You know, a new defensive coordinator in town. Who's going to be the quarterback? The roster is out. Connor Mitch is listed as the starter. But those are the two areas that people are looking at. How's the defense going to shape up? Will they be better? And who will be the trigger man for this year's football team?
Yeah, I think that it all starts there. Who's the trigger man? Who's going to be that quarterback? I think Connor Mitch is that guy right now, but he's got a lot of people behind him kind of pushing for that spot. You know, whether it's Scarnecchia, Perry Orth, or does Lorenzo Nunez come in and get? I think they're still going to have some plays for Nunez when he gets in there. He's going to come in and watch on the weekends and see what he can get in. You know, obviously couldn't graduate early to get here, and then obviously you got to look at the D lines. Yeah, everybody wants to see how that regroups, and just defense in general. I'm really excited to see Marquavius Lewis in the fold on the D line, just defense. You know, the secondary is going to be very, very good. You know, but can they fill in front of that? That's going to be the big things. Well,
that's going to be the big question, no doubt about it. We're going to be deep in the spring practice because of those two areas that we talked about. So you don't want to miss our coverage right here on Watch Fox Sports. Well, coming up after we finish up Watch Fox News at 10, a special on Gamecock women's basketball and the men in Chalk Talk. Don't miss it. We'll be back in a moment.